Okay, we're back, and Maggie's here. And if most of you that watch this video, you probably didn't watch the ELA video, so my wife, Mrs. Schmidt, is not with us right now because she's still sick. However, the last that I saw her, she was on the couch instead of in bed, so that's an improvement. And hopefully tomorrow she'll be with us. So we're going to do math with just myself and Maggie, and let's see what we have to do today. May 21st math. 3-step. Let me find my mouse because I like to point to it. 3-step order of operations matching worksheet. Worksheet. Number 1 through 10. Match the number to the correct answer. Word problem worksheet. Complete practice problems 1 and 2. Alright, so let's go down and see what we have to do here. I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit. Wow. Okay, we can zoom in a lot. Let me scoot that over. Okay. Are we in bounds? Yeah, we're in bounds. Okay. Whew, but that's the word problem page. Let's go back up here. Okay, so write the letter of the answer that matches each problem. Now, if you guys look at these choices here, what do you notice right here? Oh, 2 answers that are exactly the same, right? So if you were grading this, how would you even know if someone had the right answer if they wrote the letters, right? Oh, you were supposed to write G, but the answer was E. Well, they're the same answer. Okay, so we have to be careful about that. But I would say G and E are interchangeable. They're the same answer. Okay, anyway, let's stop picking on them about that. What do we do first, guys? In the order of operations, right? And it says it's 3 steps. So we have 3 steps to do in these problems. What's the first step in this problem? Parentheses. Okay. Let's write down our, let's remember what they are. Parentheses, right? Or brackets or braces, right? Same thing. We do that step first. Then we do the exponents. There are no exponents in these problems, so we won't even have to worry about that today, right? We will have to worry about parentheses, though. Okay, and then what comes after that? Multiplication and division in the order that you find them in the problem. Okay, so we'll just do them as we come to them. We can either multiply or we can divide. Depending on which one comes first, we'll do it first. Okay, and then the last 2, add and subtract. So we'll add as we come to it, and we'll subtract as we come to it after we've already done this. Okay, so first step, parentheses. Second step, multiply or divide. Third step, add or subtract. Now, once you guys get into 6th grade, I'm sure you will be well, and we even had exponents this year, some, but you'll have them a lot more in 6th grade. So don't forget this step if your problem has exponents in it. Remember, that's something like 4 raised to the 2nd power, right? You would solve this piece first, right? So that would be 4 times 4, because you're saying I have 2 4s multiplied together, and that would equal 16, and I would solve that before I continued to another step. Okay, but you would always do the parentheses first. Okay, so let's do this. 8 minus 4. I need to do that first, so that's 4. All right, what do I do next? I have to multiply next, and then I'll have to divide. You do those in order, right, as they come left to right. So the next step is 4 times 9. What's 4 times 9? 36. Okay, so I've taken care of the 4, I've taken care of the 9. Now I have 36 divided by 12. Okay, that's a math fact. We know that. 36 divided by 12 equals 3. And let's see which letter corresponds with the 3. Ah, F. I'm not going to draw matching lines. I'm just going to write my answers. So this would be answer F. F equals 3. Okay. Now, parentheses on number 2. 14 minus 2. What's 14 minus 2? Ah, it's 12. And what do I do next? Now I have to multiply. What's 12 times 6? Multiplication tables. 6 times 2 is 12, right? 6 times 10 is 60. 60 plus 12 is 72. Okay, I've taken care of those 2 parts. Now I still have to divide by 2. What's 72 divided by 2? So in my head, I already know 70 divided by 2 is 35. If you have two 35s, that makes 70. So then I split the 2, and I have a 1 and a 1, so I have a 35 plus a 1. What's 35 plus 1? 35 plus 1. 36. So let's see if there's a 36 available. Ah, there is. Letter C. So here I would just write C equals 36. They're not telling me to write equals. I'm just doing that so I can see the letters, right? I'm putting the value there too. All right. I'm putting the letter and the value. All right, let's see. Let me see if there are any more, because I don't want to do all these for you guys. You guys know how to do these. Let me see. They have, let's do some of these bottom ones, right? They have a few that are throwing you curveballs a little bit. What would I do first in this set of parentheses here? What would I do first? Let's look at the list. Well, step 1 is parentheses, right? So that's what we're trying to work on. Step 2 is I have to multiply or divide as I get to them. Well, this is addition. I don't do that yet. I have to do this multiplication first. So, what's 9 times 4? 9 times 4 is 36, right? If you know your timetables. What's 8 plus 36? Well, I know 6 plus 8 is 14, so that would add another 10, so that's 44. This will be 44, right? So I'm finished with all of those numbers. I'm even finished with that. Now what do I have here? I have another parentheses to do. Mr. Schmidt, you were supposed to do that before you did it. Didn't matter, right? Whatever I was doing inside these parentheses didn't matter, right? I was doing all of that before I got to this set of parentheses. 3 plus 1, 4. So what am I left with? I'm left with 44 divided by 4. Well, what is 44 divided by 4? That's an easy math fact. 11. Okay, do we have an 11? Yep, I see one on letter B. B equals 11. Okay, let's go down. Okay, I'm going to write the steps again. Parentheses, multiply, divide. We have also know that we're supposed to do exponents, but there are none in this set of problems. Add, subtract, right? Multiply, divide, add, subtract. What do I do first in this set of parentheses? They have, they have the same pattern over and over, right? Parentheses with multiplication inside. Parentheses with multiplication. Parentheses with multiplication. Then there's addition, 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 addition. They're not even being different about it, right? They could have scrambled it up a little bit. All right, so we have 11 times 5 here. We have to do that first because we do multiplication before we do addition. All right, so this is 55. Now I have to add this 9. What will that be if I add 9 to 55? Well, in my mind, I'd say 9, and if I grabbed a 1 off of that, I'd have a 10 here. So then I have 10 plus 54. What's 10 plus 54? 64. Cool. Now I have to do this set of parentheses, 10 plus 6. What is 10 plus 6? 16. Right? Now I know from computers, I don't know if you guys realize, but 64 divided by 16 is pretty easy if you know about computers, because that's a computer number. 64 divided by 16, for example, 16 megabytes, right? 64 megabytes divided by 16 megabytes, well, you need 4 of these. 4 of these. Well, how could I do that if I didn't know that? Well, if we just tested it, we could say 16 and 16, what is that? That is 12 here, 1 here, 32, and that's half of 64. So I need double this, so I need 4 16s. I need 4 of those. So do we have a 4? Yes, we do, right next to us. So here we say H equals 4. All right, let's go down. I'm going to do one more. We'll do one more and let you do the others. Oh, what do you think? 72. Let's do number 10, and then I'll let you guys do the rest of them because I want you to have fun. Just remember, when you get to any answer that's 35, there are 2 of those. I don't care which letter you put on there, as long as you know that the answer is 35. Okay. So yeah, let's look at number 10. 12 times 4, guys. Why am I doing that first? Because I know I have to do multiplication and division before I do addition and subtraction. So out of these two operations, I need to do this operation first. This will be 48. Okay. Then I have to add 8 and 10. I have to add 18. All right. Well, let's write that one out. 48 plus 18. So I have 8 plus 8, that's 16. And this 1 up here, so I have 1 plus 4 plus 1. Well, that's 4 plus 2, so that's 6. What's going to happen here? Okay, I have 28 minus 25. Well, how much greater is 28 than 25? Right? You subtract almost everything. And what would you have left over? You'd have a 3 left over. So I'm going to have to divide by 3 here, because 28 minus 25 is 3. And if I do that, well, I know that 6 divided by 3 is 2, so I'm going to have 2 2's. I'll have 22. And there's the answer there, I. I'm going to write a capital I. You don't have to. And that answer is 22. You guys do the rest. Okay? If you need help, ask somebody, but remember, just do the multiplication before you do the addition. Okay, let's go down. Transitioning to operations in word problems, worksheet, and lesson. Match the description with the right number sentence. Mark cuts 3 30-centimeter pieces of cloth from a 1 meter long cloth. Which calculation tells you about the piece that is left? All right, so what's he doing? He's cutting 3. He's got 3 pieces that are what? 30 centimeters long. So I'm looking for which one of these represents that. And I know that, let me see, 330 from a 1 meter long cloth. So I'm going to have 1 meter. Oops, I'm starting to give something away. Okay, what's 1 meter if I'm using centimeters? How many centimeters are in 1 meter? 100. How many cents are in $1? 100. How many years are in a century? 100. Okay, so there are 100 centimeters in a meter. And if you already know that and it's so easy for you, I'm sorry. I'm just helping the ones who don't know that. Okay, so that's why we have hundreds here, right? All of them have a 100 in there. They used 1 meter and they changed it to 100 because we're talking about centimeters of cloth here. All right, so what do? We start with 100 centimeters. Why? Because we're starting with 1 meter of cloth. So 100 centimeters. And what are we going to subtract? Well, we're going to subtract 3 or 30, right? They're using commutative property there. 30 centimeters times 3. Now, even though they don't have parentheses here, does it matter in this case? No, it doesn't matter, because you would do the multiplication before you would do the subtraction if you're using the order of operations. So you would have to do this piece first. So number 3 is the only one that shows that. 100 minus 30 times 3. Well, what's 30 times 3? That's 90. Oops, am I going off screen? Probably. Okay, and 10 minus 90 equals, and finally they put the centimeters there, 10 centimeters. What would happen if we use the other choices? Let's look at that. If we did number 1, we would have to do, I need to erase some of this out of my way. Okay, so if we did this one, we would have to do the parentheses first. So this would be 70. 100 minus 30 equals 70. And then we'd have times 3. What's 70 times 3? 210. Is that the answer that we need? No, it would not be the correct answer. Okay, which one would we do first here? We would have to do multiplication first. So this one would be 300 minus 30. What's 300 minus 30? 270. That would be incorrect as well. So the only one that would get us the correct answer is 3. 10 centimeters. I'm not writing the centimeters here because they didn't even do it in the problem. Okay, let's go down. Let's check out problems 1 and 2 and then we'll be finished. Okay, so one of these, let me see, one of these has 2 answers that could actually work. So we're going to have, yeah, this first one does. I thought so. Okay, so 2 of these answers would actually work, and so if you chose one over the other, I would say, yeah, you're right, because you got the same answer, because it says, which calculation shows the distance? Well, there's 2 of them that do. Let's prove it. Okay, so Stephen walks 20 meters towards north from a point. So on the side of my paper, I wrote a point, okay, and I said, okay, Stephen's walking north, and on a map, north is upwards, right? 20 meters. Okay, he turns back and takes 3 steps, so he's going to turn around and takes 3 steps back of 1 meter each. 1, 2, 3 meters. Okay, those are larger than what 3 meters would be compared to that line, but just bear with me. Okay, so we go back 3 meters. We subtract 3 meters. We're marching north 20 meters, so that means we're 20 meters away from the point when we get up there, when we go north. But then we move back 3 meters. So we're going to subtract 3 meters from the initial distance that we walked. All right, which one shows that? Which one shows it? It looks like this one shows it. 20, right? Here's our 20 meters of distance that we walk. Then we subtract 3 times 1, which is these 3 meter steps back, right? We go back 3 steps that are a meter each. So this one shows it. What would this equal? 3 times 1 is 3. 20 minus 3 equals 17. And we know the units would be meters, even though they didn't write it. Okay, what about this one? What's 20 minus 3? Remember up above we checked each calculation to see what they equaled. We would do parentheses first on this one, and that would be 17 times 1. Well, guess what? What's 17 times 1, people? 17 times 1 equals... I need an eraser. I still need an eraser. Okay. Switch back to my marker. Okay. This would equal 17 too. So, their question says, which calculation shows the distance from the initial point? 2 calculations do. This one does it better, right? They didn't say which one's the best calculation or best shows, right? They just said which calculation shows the distance. Well, these 2 have the same answer. So you would be right if you chose either one. I chose the first one only because I can see the 20 meters of distance here, and then subtracting the 3 steps, 3 times 1 meter each. Here, it wouldn't really make sense to do it this way, but you would still get the right answer. This answer here, okay, let's do parentheses. 20 times 3 is 60. And then I would subtract 1, and that would equal 59. So this is the only one in this set of equations, or expressions, I'm sorry, since they didn't have equal signs. 60 minus 1 equals 59 meters. Okay, so that one would be totally wrong. But if you chose either of these 2, according to their question, you would still be right. Number 2. A small box contains 10 balls. Okay, so a small box has 10 balls inside. 3 small boxes are put into a large box. Okay, so let's have a larger box. And we're going to put 3 small boxes inside. How many are inside each box that are small boxes? 10. Okay. Okay. So far we have that. If 3 balls are withdrawn from the large box, so out of these balls here, I'm going to have to subtract 3, right, from here. Which calculation shows the number of balls in the large box? Well, what do I have here? I see my 3 boxes of 10, right? And I only see one of these problems that they've, or expressions that they've written out that has that. I have 3 boxes of 10, or 10 balls times 3 boxes, small boxes. So I'm going with that one because the other two are already subtracting here, and that doesn't make sense. And if we just think about it, we know we started with 30 balls, right? We had 10 times 3, 30. And then we subtracted 3. And that would equal 27. Okay, so this one would, our answer should be 27 balls. What do we do here though? This second one, it's 3 times 3. We have to multiply before we subtract. So that would be 9, and we have 10 minus 9. What's 10 minus 9? This would just equal 1. We wouldn't just have 1 ball left, right? That wouldn't make sense. Here they're just subtracting 3 and then subtracting 3 again. And they're only using a small box of balls to start with. So it's 10 minus 3. What's 10 minus 3? 7. Then we take 7 minus 3, and that would equal 4. So this answer would just equal 4. So the only one that makes any sense at all is the first one, 27. That's it, guys. We're finished with math for today. Tomorrow's Friday, and I hope you guys get to have pizza or something delicious. And I'm sorry for Maggie making all this noise. At least she wasn't licking her stitches. I heard her doing something. I was like, oh no, hope she's not doing her stitches. She should get them out in a couple days though. So anyway, I miss you guys, love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm sorry this video is so late, but hopefully you'll see it in the morning. Bye guys.